Hello, boys. Hello, everybody. Tomorrow, I want to close this. It's 45 degrees out, but I'm still cold. Tomorrow is DC's due date. She'll be 150 days tomorrow. And I thought she was going to kid today. Her udders filled completely, and it's definitely popped out. She was even leaking, like squirting milk earlier out of her udder. Hi. And she's been really uncomfortable, so she's been showing early labor signs all day. They're like pacing back and forth, pawing at the ground. She lays down, she instantly gets back up. She's dropped quite a bit in the hips. I mean, she's such a wide, thick doe, you can't really tell, but she has dropped a lot in the hips. She probably won't let me see her udder because she doesn't like to do that. I noticed today while I was thinking about delivering kids that that darn door. I have, this will be our third kidding season here on the farm. So my third kidding season with my own goats, which is crazy because I feel like I've had hundreds here already, but this will be our third. Well, it already started. It started in December, but in those 3 years of kidding seasons, 2 of the kidding seasons, I have been pregnant while delivering kids. And one of them I had a pretty much newborn with me, which is so interesting. I am hoping that this is the last kidding season I spend pregnant. And because of the fact that I am pregnant and I've been delivering goat kids, I thought that it would be a good time to talk about safety with delivering animals while you're pregnant. Are you pushing? Or are you just making noise? Do you guys hear that? I'm going to take care of the boys really quickly and get these girls fed so they stop screaming at me. And then I will talk about how I stay safe while pregnant and dealing with birthing fluids on the farm. And then hopefully we'll deliver a baby goat, or 2, or 3. I don't know. Golden hour, you brave, confident girl. Every time I open this door, sorry, Shug, I hear this lamancha grumbling. And she's not a talker. She doesn't say anything ever. And it doesn't look like she's necessarily pushing. I don't know if she's just doing like baby talk, which they will start doing when they're really close. or if she's just having some really like mild contractions that are making her uncomfortable. Cookie, can you move, please? Ow! Cookie, I need you out of the way, please. I'm gonna try to sit here and talk about delivering baby goats. Well, I kind of watch her and see if she is showing any true signs of labor, or like she's about to start pushing. I saw somebody talking about how their OBGYN had done a bunch of extra testing on them because they were pregnant and they own sheep, and it's lambing and kidding season for the both of us really right now. And it got me thinking about how now for 2 out of the 3 kidding seasons that I've had here on the farm, I've been pregnant. And why it doesn't scare me to be so close to birthing fluids and newborn baby goats and having my hands all up inside of them. The biggest 2 things I can think of that are passed on to, I guess the only 2 I can think of. If you know of more, let me know. I didn't dig into more because these are the 2 that most people are scared of, is toxoplasmosis and chlamydia. So both of these things can be passed from animals to people. It is very dangerous for pregnant people. It's also very dangerous for pregnant animals to get these things. We'll start with toxoplasmosis because I did actually test part of my herd for this when we were having a difficult time getting everybody bred earlier in the season. I tested for toxoplasmosis and I tested for Cache Valley virus. And the ones that I tested negative for both. Toxoplasmosis is passed on from rats to cats, and cats can carry it safely in them, and then they pass it on to people and humans through feces. I believe that it is typically when goats or an animal like that gets it, it's because they have poop close to them. Same with people. I do believe that it can be like an airborne thing. So when you're pregnant, you're not supposed to change litter boxes, or if you do, you're supposed to wear a mask and gloves. I could be wearing a mask as well as gloves when I'm delivering goat kids, but where I have tested my animals for this and they do not have it and they're not showing any signs of it, I'm not worried about it. With toxoplasmosis, it affects goats the same way or similarly, and sheep, as it would in humans when they're pregnant and when we're pregnant. So we would have a pretty good idea if we were dealing with toxoplasmosis, because we would see constant issues with our pregnant does. We would see early miscarriages. I think, is it early miscarriages or late miscarriages with toxoplasmosis? Possible deformed kids coming out stillborn, which we haven't seen. And then chlamydia is very similar. So that, I believe, is late miscarriages in goats and sheep. And that is something that you can test for as well. I haven't tested for that because, again, I haven't seen any signs that we're dealing with that. And I don't see it very often in the goat community. I see it a lot more with sheep than I do with goats. I'm gonna lay right down. So when I'm delivering goat kids, you're gonna lay right in my lap. Yeah. You gonna start pushing? Okay, she's pushing. Is she pushing? Are you pushing? I think I'm gonna have to get Greg to get the kidding bag down here. But either of those, I'm not seeing signs in our goats. I do test the goats periodically if I think that we have an issue with one of those things. I am wearing gloves, which doesn't matter with the airborne things. I wear gloves because I like my pink gloves. I get small enough ones so I can feel everything inside of them. And I also have a really bad habit of chewing my fingernails and the sides of my fingers, so I just think that it's more cleanly for the both of us for me to have gloves on. Are you pushing? I think she's pushing. I'm gonna call Greg and I'm gonna have him bring the kidding bag down, I think. Or maybe I should go up and pee. I'm gonna run up and pee because I really have to go pee. Pregnancy problems. I went inside to cook some chicken noodle soup because I baked a chicken yesterday, so I planned on making chicken noodle soup today. And she was kind of stalling out a little bit, but I made the soup, and then I saw on the camera she has a big glob of slime coming out of her. She definitely seems like she's pushing. I try not to go in unless they've been hard pushing for a while and I'm not seeing any progress. She just kind of keeps stalling out. I haven't seen any like actual hard pushes, so I'm gonna refrain from checking her for right now. But she has been at this for quite a while now. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. You're not gonna like this. I'm gonna need to. Hey. You probably didn't get much of that. It's quite dark in here. So you don't see a lot of what's going on when I make these videos. There's a lot that gets cut out, especially when we have super long labors like this. So this lady's been partially pushing, really, I noticed, at 5:30, and right now it is 8:22, just like way longer than I typically would let a goat go. But I haven't seen any hard or consistent pushes. And then around 6:30, I noticed she had a big long string of mucus coming out of her. And typically once I see those, I've got kids out within at least an hour, or at most an hour, sorry. And I'm just not seeing that with her, so I went in to check, and it just feels like she's not really dilating correctly on her own. She's very tight. So I just stuck 2 fingers in there, and I'm just very slowly working them around in a circle. It seemed to kind of open up, kind of loosen up quite fast, and I can feel a bubble in there. So I think that we'll be able to get those kids out soon. But I'm just going to take my time, work really slowly. I'm trying to open that cervix up and try to get these kids out before she's too tired or I'm too tired. Where did I put that lube? I just read some stuff on manually dilating a cervix, and I don't actually think it's her cervix because I'm not going that far. Like, I went in, like, that hit right past my first nipples. So, and where I was feeling tightness was like right here. And I feel a kid bubble, so maybe I just have a malpositioned kid in that bubble. I hate to like speed things along. I want to give her time. But she's been down here for a long time. She's getting to the point where she's just kind of like standing in a corner and closing her eyes and kind of like rocking back and forth, and I just don't like that. So we're going to keep working at this and just see if we're feeling any progress with that kid. I feel that bubble right there. So I know that she's got a kid right there that wants to come out. It's hard to tell positioning. Can you push by yourself for a little bit? Okay. That's what I've been looking for. There. So we finally have some consistent hard pushing. So hopefully I maybe just got the ball rolling a little bit. My biggest concern right now is that, because I can feel that bubble that a kid is in when I go in, is that there's a kid that's just positioned funny, and that's why she's not able to push him out, or her. I'm saying him because boys always give us trouble. So I'm going to keep watching her consistently push. I'm going to let her do this for quite a bit because she hasn't really done the hard, consistent pushing yet. And if I don't see progress in half an hour is typically what you should do, then I'll go back in and make sure that we have some progress. I'll pop that bubble if I have to so I can actually feel the positioning of that kid as well. It's really hard for me to tell what's coming when all you feel is a big bubble. Five more minutes to do this, and then I'm gonna check to see if that bubble's come up further and if we're dealing with a mispositioned, a wrongly positioned kid. It's just one bubble, so that's a good sign. I don't see. That bubble's gotta pop before I see anything. She's almost there. But she's doing really good, so I really want to let that bubble pop on its own and kind of stretch her vulva out because it was very, very tight when I went in. And my first fresheners, especially if they have singles, really like to tear. So I'm gonna try to give that all the stretching it can possibly do. And we're still looking good on time. She's got a little bit to go, and she's making progress, so I can't really... Oh, there we go. There, you popped the bubble. Now I gotta see what position this kid's in. Got it, baby. Alright, we've had half an hour with no kids. So, that's I feel a part there. Is that a head? There. That head's just a little wonky in there, huh? I know. And that's the other foot, I think. One leg. It's got one head. There's a second foot. This kid is just... I think this is his other foot. If I could pull it forward. I know. That other leg is just so stuck. And you're so tiny. There's one leg.
Come on, baby. You got it. You got it.
He's so big.
You're saying he.
Well, I'm assuming it's a boy.
It's brown.
Oh, honey. You almost got it. These guys don't have big Roman nose like the other ones. Good job. Good job. Come on. Good job. Are you alive?
Oh my god, it's so big.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, I can't believe you're alive. I'm so sorry.
Good job, baby.
Yeah. Got some goop in there, huh? Why were you so big? Oh my god, it's a doe.
Nice.
What?
It's a little brown doe.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Good job. Oh, I could kiss you right now, but you're covered in fluid. Do you want to see her? You're still quite attached. I didn't talk through much of that. I have no idea how much of that you could see. I think Greg kind of tried to reposition the camera and push me out of the way. That kid was... She's so big. It's a little doe. I almost cried when I saw it. I still might cry, I don't know. Her head was turned sideways, and she had one foot that was kind of stuffed back on like the pelvis bone. And it was really, really miserable to get her. I did use a lot of force to pull her out, yes. I couldn't work with her pushes anymore because she wasn't, and this kid needed to come out. Usually I don't do that. I usually work with pushes. I'm not pulling very hard, but this was like a not fun situation. She's really big. She's super cute. I think that she's gonna be a single, and she's still quite attached to the umbilical cord here. So I had somebody ask me why I use umbilical cord clips, and this is why. I think this is after birth. I'm not sure yet. So see how alive that umbilical cord still is? I have before cut one of those, and everybody starts spraying blood everywhere. So I use umbilical clips, and I clip them off before I make a chop. That way nobody bleeds out. Thank you. You did a really good job.
That's a beautiful brown doe.
She's so cute. Hi. Ooh. That wasn't very much fun. Okay. Are you done, baby? I'm gonna come down and give her some meloxicam too, because I know she's gonna be hurting and swollen. Somehow missed recording this, but clean bedding, some more molasses water, which she drank a bunch of. I did give her some meloxicam. She's not past her placenta yet, but that could take a few hours, so I'll keep an eye down here for that. I'm going to get her some grain and some fresh water.